the analyst and a friend of the channel, Mr. Cudjoe Amankwaa. Welcome to News Today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Malume, the road to Russia is going to be quite long and daunting for Bafana. Just give me a quick review of what you thought of their performances.
A great performance. Bafana traveling to Benguela in Angola, conceding an early goal in 90th second, responding very positively and ensuring that they won 3-1 in a way. A significant, a giant step in the right direction, because the Bafana I know are bad travelers, particularly going onto the African continent. This time around, they change things around. They play very well away, and at home they had an own goal. That is a source of a concern, because now we are going into the group stages where they are going to be group 4 of 5. And the winners in those 5 groups goes to represent Africa in the continent. And if you look at the 20, the big boys of Africa are all in. You've got Egypt, you've got Algeria, you've got Nigeria, you've got Senegal, you've got Ghana. And the first people who are in the first 5 countries, in as far as the rankings are concerned, are going to be seeded. So with Bafana not in the first 50, doesn't look well, but I'm very impressed in as far as they have acquitted themselves thus far.
So 20 teams now remain in as far as the continent is concerned in the progression stages. What is your ideal group for Bafana? I know there's the whole notion of you have to play the best to be the best.
In order to be the best, to be the champion, you have to play the best. But I'll sit here today and be very upfront about it. I don't want South Africa to be in the group of Ghana. Not at all, because it split my personality into 2. It split my family into 2. I'm a Ghanaian by birth, and I'm a South African by nationality. And therefore, every time South Africa plays Ghana, I've got split loyalties. On the one hand, blood is thicker than water. On the other hand, I've got to consider where my bread is buttered and be seen to be supporting South Africa. And that's the only team I don't want South Africa to be grouped in the same area. But bar Ghana, I think, given the way the boys have responded, given the potency of South Africa in the middle of the pack and the way they are progressing and improving day in and day out, I think on the day, if they come up with their A game, they can beat any other team.
Now let's move on to Orlando Pirates. It's a big day for them, a huge step. You know, it's been a daunting couple of months. They've had no rest from last season to this season, and now we see them in the first leg of the semi-final tomorrow. How is it looking for Tinkler's Chargers?
Let me tell you, I've had a very huge understanding of the continent. And when a team from Tunisia, the coach says, the play of South Africa in terms, and in this instance, Orlando Pirates, in terms of its attack, have won the respect of North Africans. That is a very huge statement. They've gone there, they've beaten Al Ali there, they've beaten Zamalek there, they've beaten a number of established powerhouses from the African continent in the north there. And the last game was San Orlando Pirates against Al Ali, where they were down by 2-0. And the way they responded, and eventually after regulation time beating them 4-3, that is a statement of intent. And I think Etoile du Sahel for the first time chartered a plane to South Africa this week. And they had a stopover in Cameroon to pick their player who is a striker, Frank Com, because he left the team to join Cameroon in the in the World Cup qualifiers, and they had to have a stopover in Yaoundé to pick him up to South Africa. That shows you the significance and the respect they have for South Africa in as far as Orlando Pirates is concerned. For me, tomorrow is just a simple strategy. Attacking and defending as a unit will be the key for Orlando Pirates, and they've got to make sure whether they win 1-0 or 2-0 or 3-0, they don't have to concede. If they are able to achieve that by winning at home and keeping a clean slate, I'll have no doubt they will win the CAF Confederations Cup this season.
What would it mean for Eric Tinkler to walk away the winners? Wow,
it will boost his CV. It will make him a super coach. It will also set him up for a future job in as far as Bafana is concerned. If he's able to win this CAF Confederations Cup and ensure that Orlando Pirates become the first team, not in South Africa, but in SADC, to win the CAF Champions League and the Confederations Cup, it will make his CV very rich. And from there, the next level of work, in as far as I'm concerned, will be the next Bafana coach. And I've got no doubt in my mind, if the boys want to help Eric Tinker in as far as career progression is concerned, they need to play their socks off. They need to make sure that they don't concede a goal. Even after regulation time, if it's 1-0, we'll be very happy because they can go out in North Africa and without a lot of pressure on their shoulders. They can show themselves, they can play their game, and they can score a goal against Etoile du Sahel to put them under pressure. But wait a minute, Etoile du Sahel have won the Champions League. They've won the CAF Confederations Cup. They've won everything on the continent that needs to be won. They are an established club from Tunisia. They cannot be taken for granted. The fact that they beat Zamalek a record 5-1 en route to this very stage is an attestation that they are not to be taken for granted, and Orlando Pirates must be very, very careful. For me, they don't need to concede. The defense must be sharp. They must attack and defend as a unit, and if they are able to accomplish that and give us a goal or 2 or 3, I'm going to sing on Monday on your show with Uhuru Day. We are going to celebrate.
Malume, in 3 words, why should South Africans support Orlando Pirates?
Because Orlando Pirates are representing South Africa, and they are giving the DNA in as far as football in this country is concerned. The fact that now Etoile du Sahel coach have said Orlando Pirates exploits also June in North Africa have won the entire respect of the North Africans is a very good statement for South African football, and therefore all must come in their numbers, whether you are a Sundowns fan, a Pirates fan, a Chiefs fan. That one must be a secondary issue. Orlando Pirates is representing the country, and all of us must support them in an attempt to win and put South African football on the continental map.
Cudjoe Amankwaa, thank you so very much for making the time to join us right here on News Today. It's always a pleasure. Your knowledge of African football is absolutely inspiring. That is all from the sports desk for this moment. Your weather details are up next.